Hello, what's up, and welcome back to day 2 of Cosmoverse Dubai 2024. I'm Adel, the host, and today we have a special guest with us, Juan Leni, founder at Zondax. Juan, how are you doing today?
Yeah, doing very well. Thank you very much for the invitation.
100%. I love your booth. I visited. I had to ask, what are you building? So tell us in the audience, what is it you're building here?
So we, as a company, we do a lot of different things. In the case of like Cosmos, we are a core developer for the Interchain Foundation, like an Interchain core developer. We do a lot of work in the SDK, but at the same time, our kind of like original expertise has been like in providing like security and cryptography, as well as like hardware wallet security. So just for Cosmos, for example, we deal with like the integration for Ledger for most of the chains that.
Let me just show the audience. This is what you built right here. You built the behind the sort of integration. This is obviously the hardware built by Ledger, but if you open it. Inside it, you built all the software inside it. Is that correct?
So, yeah, correct. So since 2018, before mainnet, we were like doing all this integration for Cosmos. So right. Most of the users in Cosmos that use hardware wallets, they use like the firmware that we put in the devices. And this happens also for more than 50 other chains in other ecosystems. So from the, let's say, the top 100, we typically do this kind of work for 50 of them. And at the same time, we have like similar like protocol engineering teams. The company also has a kind of different segment that is not just doing like services for blockchains, but we also do like pre-seed investment. And we have a kind of like new kind of like area that is like doing product development. But this is more like kind of like plan for 2025 rather than this one. So the thing that brought us to Cosmos is that we have been involved in Cosmos since around 2018. And now we are like part of the Interchain core teams.
Yeah. Wow, wonderful, wonderful. This, by the way, looks like a mini iPod, a mini iPhone even. It looks really nice and slick. I love it. And thanks to your great help that you created the. I see Polkadot here. I see Zcash shielded. You built all these?
Yes. So I mean, as I said, from let's say the top 100, we do like 50 at least. So most of the once you get a Ledger device and you start using that. Most of the applications that go inside is what we do, and that requires not just the application. So the thing is like building this means that you need to understand the cryptography, how the protocol works, each of the transaction formats, and that means a lot of technical skills that later are transferable like between chains. And at the same time, we do other things like like block explorers or exchange integration. So it's a lot of the, let's say, our expertise is in doing like the repetitive things that most blockchain needs so they can concentrate on their use case, and we do kind of like the common practices that everyone needs to have. Wow. That's in a way we have been like kind of a behind the scenes B2B provider for a lot of these chains, and yeah, we have been around like since 2018-19. So
really
very B2B, very behind the scenes, but we are like everywhere.
But the B2B is very necessary for crypto adoption, because without this, how can people save their keep their savings in the most safest way, one of the most safest ways off the internet, which is this way?
Yes, definitely. So obviously there has been an evolution, and things are like kind of like trying new things, but the only one that has been like working all this way through and has proven really in the market to be secure is like hardware wallet security. 100%. So maybe now with account abstraction there are like new alternatives, but honestly are all things that need to be tested, and this one it's working.
Love it. I love it. So what's next for you? What are you going to be building next going into 2025, going onwards? The audience, what can the audience be excited about that you guys are building?
So as I said, we have like all these services in this sense. For example, in the Interchain stack, we are like planning to separate everything that is related to cryptography. Right now, like when you use the Cosmos SDK, there are like some limitations. Obviously, limitations that are like the normal evolution of like engineering. I mean, there are new things that want to kind of like change, and the flexibility was not there. So we are like separating everything about cryptography into a new module that maybe other chains that are in the Cosmos ecosystem will be able to use, and start like using things like CK or things that right now, if you are a Cosmos team, are difficult to do. That's kind of on the Interchain stack. More on the Zondax side, like what I said, we are trying to move a bit more towards products. I mean, more like expanding rather to moving towards. And there is a project that I'm very excited to. I cannot tell a lot about that,
Right.
but we are trying to, and exactly on what you are saying, we are trying to start like working on areas that are a bit more like consumer oriented, and that they have like some kind of like standard Web2 functionality with a bit of Web3. Not so much Web3, but mostly like Web2 bringing into Web3, because adoption, in my opinion, is one of the kind of like biggest blockers these days. I mean, we have gone into maybe closing us too much, and adoption is that kind of the critical point. So moving into consumer, let's say.
Wonderful. I love this. I can't wait to watch the space grow. And for the audience who are watching, how can they find out more information about your Zondax?
So our website is Zondax.ch. That's kind of like less technical. Otherwise, in GitHub, if you're a technical user, you will find like a lot of projects there. We are like very, very open source. And otherwise, you can find us in Twitter or like YouTube. But mostly, I would say Twitter and GitHub are the kind of like very technical oriented B2B kind of like area where you can find more information about us.
Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. I think this is very insightful. So Juan, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, same Adel.
Thank you so much for watching. Hope you found this insightful. We'll leave all the links in the description so you can check out all the links you need to check out Juan's profile as well as Zondax. Thank you again. I'm Adel, the host, and I'll see you next time. Cheers. Let's go.